Call the town council meeting to order for Tuesday, April 16th, 2009 at 7:05 p.m. We'll start first with salute to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Duty,
Here.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Here.
Counselor Candelora,
Here.
Counselor Diamond,
Here.
Counselor Fawnin,
Here.
Counselor Miller, absent, Counselor Rose,
Here.
Counselor Viglione,
Here.
Counselor Zampano.
Here. Move on to minutes of previous meeting. Motion to approve the March 26, 2019 budget workshop.
So moved with a correction on page 2. At the last paragraph, it said the well monitoring is in the budget at 85,000. That should be 8,500.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes. At the April 2nd, 2019 Special Water Pollution Control Authority and Town Council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any corrections? Roll call?
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes. Okay, the April 2nd, 2019 budget hearing for 2019-2020.
So moved.
Second.
Any corrections? Roll call?
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
I think I have to abstain.
You were there.
Was I here? Yes.
Yeah, you were there.
and Counselor Zampano.
Yes. Finally, the April 4th, 2019 budget workshop.
I make a motion to approve with one correction on page 7 of the minutes. It's page 25 in our tablet. It's in regards to the discussion of adding the 50,000 for the police department. Under the discussion, it says there were 2 in the budget, but they were cut out. Actually, there was only 1 that was cut out.
Second.
Any other corrections? Roll call.
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
and Counselor Zampano.
Yes. All right, we'll move into the regular town council meeting, reports of committees, boards, and commissions. Economic Development Commission,
There was no meeting since our last one.
Park and Recreation,
Park and Rec met on April 8th. The superintendent of schools came before the Park and Rec Commission and asked for permission to put up, I guess, wind screens on the tennis courts. And there was quite a lengthy discussion between the commission and the Board of Ed in regards to the wind screens. The concern from the Park and Rec Commission was the amount of money that we have invested in those courts and the all of the fencing and if the windscreens could possibly do any damage to the fencing. So they did check with, Kurt Weiss did check with the manufacturer and the installer of the fencing, and they suggested, they said that the windscreen should be taken down if the winds are predicted to get to between 45 and 50 miles per hour, because they could do damage to the fencing. And they will only be up during the tennis season, and then taken down. So it'll be up to the superintendent to monitor that and make sure they're taken down. And there was an email from Lauren to the superintendent just stating what the manufacturer said, and asked to make sure that he knows that they are responsible for monitoring that and to take the screens down and put them back up. So that, and if there's any damage to it, that the Board of Ed would be responsible for fixing the fencing on that. They also had an Eagle Scout that came before them who wants to do a press box for the youth football field, and they have referred him to do a few more checkouts with the town building official and everything to make sure that it would meet compliance, if they have to meet ADA compliance, because it would be raised and with stairs. So he will be coming back at another time. And then also with the development, possible development of that property, they want to make sure that they don't okay a project and then it would have to be taken down in a few years because of ongoing construction in that site there. And then there was discussion in regards to the POCO Fest, and I know they had another round of interviews for the POCO Fest coordinator. And I'm not, did they make a decision yet on that?
Yeah.
So they do, I guess, out of that round, they were gonna have someone, they found someone. And that's about it.
Thank you. Next is Police Commission.
The Police Commission met on April 8th. In addition to the usual statistics presented by the Interim Chief Lovelace thanked Judy Bannon's second grade class that made each officer a bag with all kinds of goodies in it with their badge on the bag, which I think was a very nice thing, and the police department is very appreciative. He also announced that there's a problem with the fingerprinting machine, and he's in the process of getting some options for a new machine. Obviously, that's a machine that police departments absolutely have to have, so I guess they'll be coming back to us at some point with some figures on that. The commission approved 2 new policies, a recruitment plan and a promotional process. And I have to give Acting Lieutenant Sean Anderson a lot of credit for working on all those policies and getting them all done. A reminder that the swearing-in ceremony for Chief Halloran is on April 29th at 6:30 p.m. at MBIS.
It's
And I
actually
think
at the auditorium,
at
isn't
the
it?
auditorium, yes.
Okay.
And I think the most exciting thing, and I hope people are aware of this, that North Branford Police Department is now a finalist in the Lip Sync to the Rescue on CBS. You can go, if you go, and I think we need to get the word out, go to cbs.com to lip sync for rescue, and you can vote as many times as you want. I know I went on it, I just kept hitting the button, you can keep voting and voting. But I don't know if everybody, I don't go on Facebook, so I didn't know that a lot of people see it on Facebook, but I don't know how else people can get it unless if you go to cbs.com, lip sync to the rescue. So let's get everybody out there to vote for North Branford, because there's a lot of competition out there. I looked at some of the other ones.
What is there, 30, I believe?
I think
there's 30, and they're gonna take the top 10.
Yes, and those people are gonna get to go out to Los Angeles for this, to work on the special, so let's vote for our town. I think
And
it's great.
voting is open until early September,
Yes.
right?
No, I think it's,
I thought I saw something like September 2nd or 7th,
I'll double check that.
so.
Thank you. Next is Fire Commission.
I could not make the meeting last Thursday, so I don't have anything.
Board of Education, Town Council, Communications Subcommittee,
No meeting.
Town Planning Goals Subcommittee,
No meeting?
Planning and Zoning Commission.
I was at, the last meeting was the day of our last budget hearing, so that's where I was. But Carrie's here. If something important happens, she could tell us.
The only
Thank you.
East Shore Health District Department. North
No,
Branford.
no report, but Mayor, I would like just to point out that there is a letter at your seat on the resignation of Shauna Holzer for the East Shore Public Health Board. So there'll be a vacancy there for the council to consider.
Next is North Branford Police Department Facility and Town Center Advisory Committee.
That meeting was held on April 8th. We were given a presentation by Silver Petroselli Architects. They refined their original design for the town center. During their presentation, many members of the committee made suggestions. I think overall, though, the committee is very pleased with the first design. There is a motion within the agenda for tonight in order to pay for setting up what do you call that, the corners of the property at a cost not to exceed $1,000, the stakes, to put the stakes in. I think it's on our agenda for approval. And that next meeting is on May 8th.
Thank you. Finally is Finance Subcommittee.
There was no meeting.
Moving on, Town Manager's Report, update on plan of conservation development.
Yeah, I have also another memo from Carrie, and she can certainly speak to the fact, but they concluded the workshop on the 11th with about 35 people in attendance, and they're drafting the plan and hope that that will be wrapping up by September of this year. So I don't know if there's any questions, but it's moving along.
Next is review of South Central Regional Metropolitan Transportation Plan 2019 to 2024.
Yeah, I think there was a question that came up regarding the Council of Governments and the process by which they look at transportation issues. And Kurt is here. We have supplied some background information on this study that apparently goes back to June of 2006 and has been carried over since then. It's an opportunity to identify, it's a corridor planning study, long-term, much like a plan of conservation and development. And I think there's some concerns about what that would look like with respect to how it impacts Northford. And I'll certainly let Kurt go into the details on how that process works, but there's nothing ready. It's more of a placeholder and not yet approved or funded.
Yeah, and just quickly, I think I provided a lot of the information in either emails or it's included in the agenda package. But every 5 years, the South Central Regional Council of Governments puts together a 25-year long-term metropolitan transportation plan, identifies all sorts of transportation issues, including bike paths, ports, roads, airports, freight movement, and the like, and all transportation-related issues. The concern that came up, one of the items in here identified for in need of improvements is Norfolk Center, and that's based upon a study that was done in 2006 that Mike referenced, where they looked at the geometry of the intersection and all the curb cuts over there. The study was done through funding from Council of Governments, again in 2006. And at that time, they came up with two preliminary possibilities, one including a roundabout in Northford Center, one sort of teeing up the intersection of Route 17 and 22, and changing a lot of the curb cuts. They were identified as possibilities or alternatives, sort of with the footnote that there's a lot of issues that have to be looked at from both a transportation point of view, from the state, and from the town point of view in terms of trying to look at curb cuts and allowed uses in the center of Northford. What was also included there was it's always been talked about for probably 40 years, an alternative bypass to Northford Center that would go to basically the rear of Dunkin' Donuts and behind some of those shops and come out towards Ardsley Avenue to try to get some of the local shopping type traffic off of the multiple curb cuts on Route 22, Route 17 intersection. So that was identified as a problem. They came up with a couple solutions and sort of with a footnote that something needs to be done, but it's a complicated problem. As a result of that study, it's been identified that that's in need of a project. It's been included in this South Central Regional Metropolitan Transportation Plan for the two previous versions of it. They've included it also in the proposed current one, the 2019-2045 plan. And again, it's really a placeholder that makes it potentially eligible for funding. It doesn't lock in funding. It doesn't give the state any right to just come in there and do something. But again, it gives it that eligibility down the road, that if some money were to be available, there's a potential for applying it to this project in the future. Again, with especially with DOT process now, it's pretty much, there's a lot of public involvement and a whole procedure before anything would move forward. And I think there may have been confusion because there's also a transportation improvement plan that routinely gets amended by the Council of Governments, and that allocates funding to particular projects throughout the region. When everything's done to any state highway, it has to be funded through that program. This has nothing to do with that. We're not at that point. If down the road it were to be a project, somewhere down the road, it would go in that transportation improvement program and have to be acted on by the Council of Governments after a whole other type of process. But again, it's just a placeholder at this point. Nothing's going to happen at this point with a lot of input from everybody and a lot of funding. And again, this is a 25-year plan. It's already been in the previous two versions of it. So if there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to try to answer them.
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is community events and presentations. We have a proclamation for Earth Day, April 22nd, 2019. This proclamation is for Earth Day, whereas the first Earth Day was celebrated April 22nd, 1970, with our goal inspiring environmental awareness and encouraging the conservation, protection, and appreciation of our nation's natural resources. And whereas it is the responsibility of each of us to safeguard the environment by recognizing that all human life depends upon the earth and upon one another for our natural mutual existence, well-being, and development. Whereas the steps we can take to protect and preserve our natural environment through educational partnerships and positive action should be encouraged in the town of North Branford. And whereas the citizens of the town of North Branford are committed not only to protect and preserve our environment, but also restoration of ecosystems, habitats, and whereas the town of North Branford citizens, staff, and elected officials are working closely with federal, state, and local governments and with non-governmental organizations to develop and implement regulations, ordinance specifically designed to preserve and improve the town of North Branford's fragile ecosystems and the quality of life therein. And whereas the town of North Branford proudly recognizes all that participate in Earth Day for their dedication and taking proactive role in shaping the future of our environment and in protecting the town of North Branford's precious natural resources. Now therefore, we the town council of the town of North Branford do hereby proclaim April 27th as Earth Day in the town of North Branford, and urge all our citizens to be mindful of local, state, and national laws which protect our environment and join us in efforts to preserve the beauty and wonder of the lands, skies, and water of the earth in all its diversity. In witness thereof, I hereby do set my hand and cause the seal of the town of North Branford to be affixed to this, the 16th day of April 2019.
I think Bill
Bill is here on behalf of the organization to accept that proclamation. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, just briefly, the committee, I accept this on behalf of the Hazardous Committee. In a week and a half, on the 27th, we're gonna have a presentation down in Wallfield. Committee's been working hard on getting, vendors to come in, people, eco-friendly, businesses eco-friendly, and anybody that can, teach us anything about, the environment. Now, we do a lot of things in town with the, our card and recycling program with plastic and, everything is full steam ahead, but, people are not always aware, you know, a lot of calls come into the town about when's bulky trash and all that. Well, if you come by and spend a half an hour with us on the 27th down in Wallfield, we're able to answer a lot of questions. Thank you.
Our next item, citizen statements, petitions, and correspondence. Resignations and appointments, nothing listed. Unfinished.
Mr. Mayor, I would just like to make a motion to move up the budget portion, so that we have time to do the budget, and then Anthony can work out all the numbers, and then we can, towards the end of the meeting, we'll go back to the budget adoption motion, and the referendum question. So I'd like to make a motion to move item 9H, J, K, 1, 2, and 3 up to this part of the meeting first, to do that, and then we can go back and start with unfinished while Anthony finishes up the budget.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
Or 9H. This is the 2019-2020 budget.
This was moved up because this is gonna have an effect on our budget. So we need to accept, we have to vote on this so that we can make the motion in our
Which
budget.
is the award of bid number 2, 2019-2020 radio equipment maintenance.
Does anybody know what page that's on the?
And I'm looking at,
Department 4240, 310.
no, it's in our book, in our tablet here.
In the tablet, the page in the tablet.
It's on page 89.
89 of 110.
What is it?
89.
What does that mean? It wasn't.
Okay, so I just have a couple questions, and Anthony, you're probably gonna have to help on this one, because I looked in our budget book under communications, which is 4240, and under account 310, It has the police, the fire, and the public works maintenance contracts for the phones here, or for the equipment, for the radios. And then I looked in last year's budget book, the same thing, and police and fire are listed under 310 in communications. But the numbers were drastically lower than the bid here. Like police last year, or the current year that we're in, police was at 5,400, and now in our budget book, it's 10,000, and the bid came in right around what the thing is. And so I was just wondering, and the same with fire.
Nope, you're 100% right. What I prepared is a little bit of a schedule showing the 18-19 budget, which basically had police, as you mentioned, at 5,400, and fire at 8,040. And there was no reference to DPW or the common equipment. To the right of that in the account is how they have actually been charged this year. In the box, the first box, the police monthly bill right now is $799, which equates to $9,588 for the year. So the bottom line is the 18-19 budget was wrong. And the money has been spent out of the various accounts. The public works maintenance has been coming out of Fran's 310 account current year. And it's listed to come out of 4240 next year. The common equipment, you're 100% correct, also was not identified. Right now it's $160 a month, $19.20 for the year. That one is the biggest increase if you look to the next set between the two blocks. I had factored in a 5% increase just on my best guess on the budget, and you can see that we were pretty close on the police, came out 5.5%, and the DPW was just about 5.07, so that was pretty on target. The fire was a little bit of an increase, and the common wasn't identified anywhere in last year's budget. So that farthest block to the right is an adjustment you need to make to that 4240-310 account of $4,462. So a couple different issues is that A, it wasn't identified in last year's budget properly, and Fran's was actually being charged to his budget, and now it's in front of you tonight to be incorporated all into the communications budget. So a couple different issues, and the bid is referenced in there, the new bid amount, the dollar increase, the percentage increase, and then again the farthest right-hand block shows the adjustment you need to make to that 4210 budget to get it in there.
So,
You decreased those budget lines in those budgets?
Well, the interesting thing about Fran's is that it was never identified in his budget. It's just he has a 310 maintenance account, which is kind of like a catch-all. It covers equipment maintenance, it's covered the radio maintenance, it's covered a couple different varieties of maintenance. So now I guess the thought is let's identify them and put them all in one spot in the communications budget where they belong. So you have police, fire, public works, and then the common equipment is the maintenance on things like the dispatch console that you can't identify. It's not fire, it's not public works, it's not police, it's for all the aspects. So there's that common piece of it. Again, it was never identified in last year's budget, but we've been paying it all along, as you see in that first block out of the communications account.
so when we get to the actual budget,
Right.
4240-310 is going to have to be increased by 4462?
That is correct.
Okay. Okay, so I make a motion to accept bid number 2, 2019-20 radio equipment maintenance, and award it to Tactical Communications for the base bid price of $28,824.
Second. Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione?
Yes.
Counselor Zampano?
Yes. Okay, award of bid number 4, 1920, delivery and supply of propane to
No,
the
it's
town of
not.
North Branford.
That's J.
Oh,
It's only-
wrong one.
Jay.
Discussion on John's refuse contract.
So,
Yeah, I think there's a couple of parts to it, and one of which is tied to an executive session that we'll brief, and then, but there's also a budgetary issue
Right.
I think Deputy
So-
Mayor wants to address.
so the budgetary issue is, so the question was asked several meetings ago in regards to the letter that John's Refuse had sent us saying that their recycling costs, they used to get $12 a ton and now they're paying $95 a ton, and they were going to bill the town of North Branford approximately $10,000 a month to make up for this. And so we had asked to see if that was in the contract, so I guess that's,
No, right.
it's not in the contract.
Right, so I think it was 20 or 23,000, I think we might have put
Well,
in
what's
there.
in our budget is 56,700.
Well, I think that I think that incorporates the increase per the contract for July 1, but I think.
Well, no, there was a separate line item
Yeah,
for, there's a separate line item for 50% of the cost of recycling, municipal recycling disposal, 50% of cost, which was not in last year's budget. So that's a new line item in there. So that's the number that I was looking at, is the 56.7, because in our current budget, that line item is not in there. So that's what I thought was the increase due to the recycling, 50% of the cost, which does work out to approximately the it was approximately 10,000 a month, so that would be $120,000 a year. So if this is 50%, that's right there. It's very close. So is that the number we're talking about?
yeah, I would think so. I would just wanna confirm, in my notes, I have somewhere, but, that's accurate. And what do we, let me just find it. We're gonna need, for July 2019, we're gonna need a figure of 902,619.90 for the.
Which is in there.
Okay, so then, yeah,
So
we can back
this
out.
56.7 is
Is a
another line
placeholder for
item
the-
specifically for recycling disposal, 50% of the cost, which was not in our current year's budget when I compared the two.
Mhm.
So,
For some reason I had 20,000, but we'd safely back that out because we're gonna, obviously we have a
Okay.
strategy to address that.
I just wanna make sure that we have
Unless Michelle, unless
the
that's
right
a-
number.
Unless that's incorrect, I think that's safe.
Well, I guess one of my questions is, how did this get into the budget in the first place if it's not in our contract? If it's not in our current budget and we're entering the second year of our first extension, 2-year extension, how did this line item just automatically appear in our budget for this amount? Like, where did it come
Just-
from?
Just in terms of what we had going with discussions in negotiations with the contractor about anticipating what we may have to carry if we were entered into a lawsuit and lost.
Okay. All right, so we can take care of that then when we get to the budget.
Okay, next is, item K, 2019-2020 budget. First is Board of Education and other general government adjustments.
Actually, I'd like to start with capital, there's less in that one.
Table that and move to capital improvement plan.
Okay, so the first thing is at our last meeting, we had adjusted the Auger House painting to $5,000 based on, information that we had received a grant, and then we received the email from Mike saying that that grant is actually not for the painting of the Auger House. So I would like to make a motion to add $5,000 to the Auger House painting and take it from budget funds. Or add
Second.
it to budget, you know, it gets added to budget funds.
Oh, add it.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
Okay, the last meeting, we also discussed the roof at 1675 Foxen Road. And Franny was going to get us some numbers on both.
That should also be in your folder. I think it's probably the last,
Okay.
piece of information in the bottom of your folder.
Okay, so it looks like it's 35 to 40,000 if we re-roof the building. But there's a potential of an additional 14,000 if they have to replace the whole existing wood deck. Is that correct? Is that, am I, okay. And if we were going to do a metal roof, that 35 to 40 goes up to 60. So Al, I guess I'm gonna defer to you and ask you what your opinion is.
Yeah, boy, that, I mean, I think we should just stick with an asphalt roof on it. Most of the metal ones are a 20-year finish on the color. So then you have a rusty roof and still it starts leaking.
There was nothing. They had, how many layers they have on their frame?
I believe there's only one on there. I think when they stripped it,
The last time we did it.
when they did that renovation back in the eighties,
So nobody looked at it to see if we could go over it with one more layer?
they recommended not because there's so much moss on it. It's like there's almost an inch of moss on the whole section over there, toward the south end. So their suggestion, rip it off and making sure plywood's good underneath it, which it seems fine, but, you know, they don't recommend going over it.
So should we add something in for the plywood? If we have to replace any plywood, it's $100 a sheet, or 14,000 if we have to redo the whole thing, so.
That's $100 a sheet if they only replace, if they're replaced. $14,000 if they have to put it on the whole deck, which I'd rather doubt that they have to do that.
Okay,
So if they have a sheet or two that they have to replace, it's $100 a sheet.
Is it leaking at all?
It does leak, in the kitchen area a little bit. We did fix it temporarily, but,
and that's the section where the moss is, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the side?
yeah.
Okay.
So if it's leaking, there's a good chance that you have to replace
Some of them.
one or two sheets of plywood where the leak was.
The thing with the plywoods, we're not sure if it's, pine boards on the roof. When they renovated it, they might have put plywood on it already. It's really tough to tell. So it might already be plywood.
Yeah, I think they plywooded the whole thing, cause that was, we spent a lot of money on that. When was that done, the eighties? Was it? Fran, you're getting old.
So, to have a, would you stick?
$1,000 that's in there.
Yeah.
At the top. I don't think there's gonna be more than that.
So what do you wanna put in for the estimate is between 35 and 40? You wanna just go with 40 and it's gonna go out to bid
Yeah.
anyway?
Yeah.
Right. So I make a motion, to add, a new roof for 1675 Foxton Road, an asphalt roof at $40,000 and using fund balance.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor
Yes.
Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to add $10,000 to fire department turnout gear taken from the fund balance.
Second.
Discussion?
So what does that leave as a total for the, for the fire department? For that?
Well,
That's the
that'll
that'll be the
make,
total?
that'll make 70,000, cause there's already 60,000 in turnout gear, and that would make it 70,000. In the capital. Let me see what's here. Yes, turnout gear is at 60,000 right now, so this would put it at 70,000. We'll have to do the tanks separately. So I had talked to the chief and to Joe Civitello, the chair of the fire commission, and, told them our idea of adding $20,000 to the fire department and asked them where they would like it to go. So their recommendation was 10,000 to go to turnout gear and 10,000 to go to the SCBA cylinders. So that's gonna be my next motion. So that was the $20,000, to the fire department, and they wanted it split between the turnout gear and the SCBA cylinders.
Roll call?
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
The second one's also fund balance.
What,
It's SCBA.
yes, that's gonna be fund balance also. I make a motion to add $10,000 to the SCBA cylinders, for the fire department, taken from fund balance.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
I have a question. You know, you took the money out for the, trucks for the fire department, or the engine, and it says it was done 4/4. I don't recall that we did that. We actually,
We
we made a
the,
motion to take it all out.
yes.
And I guess my question, my additional question is, you know, we had a long-range planning committee, and that equipment was in there for next year. When are we ever gonna look at that? I mean, the engine 3, my understanding, was bought in 1990, and the other one was bought in 1989. Have we talked about, are we thinking about what we're gonna do in the future for those
Well,
two vehicles?
well, we took it out because we weren't buying it. That wasn't our suggestion to buy both fire trucks outright. So the motion, we took it out, but we increased their equipment reserve account because that was decreased from
Yeah,
what
I'm just
they-
concerned that, you know, that those two pieces of equipment are so old, and what the fire department's gonna do about that. I mean, 1989, that engine 3, my understanding, is used all the time.
But there's 300,000 in their equipment reserve account.
Okay.
That was put in, and we worked to increase our budget funds for our CIP, our capital funds. Last year it was 830,000, and it was the goal of the council
Yeah.
to get that up to about $1 million. And so each year there's funding for equipment reserves for
I just-
Public Works and Fire Department.
I'm just concerned, you know, that,
Well, we would never have been able to satisfy any of the other budget items in the budget and saving, like the Auger House, saving the Old Town Hall, and a lot of the other items that we put in there if we didn't use some of those fundings. We could have 2 brand new fire trucks and the rest of the building's falling down.
I understand that. I'm just concerned, you know, and I,
We have to try to, you know, follow that funding.
well, I hope that there's a way that they can get some of that at some point, and maybe through leasing, I presume they can do that. I just am concerned about the age of some of that equipment. And, you know, when they came to us in terms of the 5-year plan committee, there obviously were a lot of items that they definitely need.
That's why we were trying to work in that direction. Next,
So at our last budget meeting, we allocated $25,000 for the high school feasibility study phase 2 out of budget funds. And I would like to make a motion to take that $25,000 and do it from fund balance instead of budget funds.
second.
This is the 25 we were approving this year, and you're moving it from the normal budget to the
Fund balance.
fund balance. Okay, and they still have the 25 from last year, so we're increasing it to 50.
Correct, it's still increased to 50, it's just if it's coming from budget funds or fund balance. And the motion last was budget funds, and I'm making a motion to move it over to fund balance.
Discussion?
Okay, thank you.
Roll call.
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
Okay. Going to the regular budget, there's a number of motions that Anthony Esposito gave us that we need to take care of, for housekeeping measures. They are in our budget pack also. I'm just, let me see here. Starts on page 96 in our tablet. So I'd like to make a motion to decrease the taxable grand list by 305,244 per the assessor relating to action of the Board of Assessment Appeals and corrections by the assessor.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to decrease the cleaning supply account 101-4401-203 in the Recreation Department budget by $36 to correct the budget.
Second. Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelara,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to increase the facilities maintenance account 101-4401-311 in the Recreation Department budget by 1,190 to correct the budget.
Second. Second.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelara,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to decrease the equipment rental account 101-4401-312 in the Recreation Department budget by 4,420 to correct the budget.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelara.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to increase other contractual in the Public Works budget 101-4305-320 by 6,600 to engage a firm to review the testing reports relating to the landfill monitoring to see if our reporting requirements can be reduced going forward.
Need a second.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelara,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to increase equipment maintenance in the police budget 101-4210-310 by 1,018 to include the annual maintenance on the phone system.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelara,
Yes. Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to reduce account 4302. Let me see what's the line item. Which is refuse, 320 by 56,700.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, could you just clarify that? Did you say you're reducing?
Yes, I'm taking, that's the recycling.
Right. I thought we had to add that.
No,
No.
we don't have to have it. That was the discussion is, it's in the budget, but the contract does not, permit us to add that, to have it in the budget.
Right, so it was already in Mike's budget when he presented it.
Yes, it's in the current, in what's presented to us.
And has there been a final resolution with John's Refuse?
No, we have a strategy in principle, but we gotta take you through the executive session to explain that, and then we'll have
Okay.
action.
All right, makes sense, fine.
Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
Okay, going to EDC, 4673. At the last meeting, the motion was made to decrease his hours from 19 to 25 as proposed, and then I withdrew my motion and agreed to table until we got some more information. The town manager did talk to Roger Solway. He does not need insurance, and he does not want to increase his hours to 25 hours. So I would like to make a motion to increase his rate of pay from what he's currently getting, which is $25 an hour, to $30 an hour, based on information that the town manager got from us, that emailed us from CCM about salaries. So this would keep his hours at 19, but increase his hourly rate to $30 an hour. So I'd like to make a motion to increase 4673,102 by $4,959.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Duty.
The number 102 account already had the increase bumped in that $30.
I know, I'm making the motion. I wanted to do the increase first, and then we'll take out.
It's already in your,
Right, so if I put this in, I'm gonna take out the whole increase.
okay.
It's just cleaner.
Who seconded that? I'm sorry. Laura? Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
Okay, so I believe the corresponding Medicare is $72 on that increase? I mean, you only pay Medicare, the 1.45?
Yeah, 1.45.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to increase account 4673,120 by $72.
Second.
So,
Discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
yes.
Okay, now I'd like to decrease account 4673,102 by $7,830, and that was increasing Roger's hours from 19 to 25. That was the dollar amount for that.
7,000.
830.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to decrease account 4734,721,0820 health insurance by $13,776. And this was associated with increasing that position from 19 to 25 hours.
Second.
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
I'd like to decrease account 4734, 741, 0820, life insurance by 205. And that was also associated with that position going to 25 hours.
Second.
What number again?
205.
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
and Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
And I'd like to decrease account 4734, 734, 0832, long-term disability by $183.
Second.
Discussion.
Mayor
Roll call.
Duty,
Yes.
183, yeah.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
Okay, and then I'd like to decrease account 4673, 120. I think it's Medicare and these were the numbers you gave us, Anthony, so is it Medicare and pension
Correct.
together? Okay, $4,121, 4121.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
Okay, and, I'd like to decrease account 4673, 308, which is still in EDC, for Rex Development of $4,800.
Second.
Was that was the EDC that recommended that?
I was at the meeting when Roger had stated that if there was anything that was going to get cut from their budget, they would like to see, he recommended that. And I know Mike had said that EDC has been discussing about what exactly does Rex bring to the table at, some of their meetings and stuff. So that's what my recommendation is going on when I was at those meetings.
Yeah, could I just add something that?
Sure.
Late development that happened today, as a offshoot of the meeting we had in Guilford for SBA, that there's discussion among the towns along the shoreline, you know, obviously Branford, Guilford, Madison, North Branford, and even Durham, about coming together collectively as a collaborative, a cluster, if you will, for economic development, and try to use a model to brand ourselves and work real well together and closely together to promote economic development for a five-town kind of cluster, if you will. In that discussion, that obviously will take some money, and thinking that maybe that placeholder for Rex could stay in to help to fund the initiative that's underway, that's got some support from economic development planning and so forth. Subject to, obviously, to the council hearing more, but I think just they're gonna need funds if we're gonna pull something like that off, but using the Rex model, but really concentrated for the shoreline here. So it's a new, it's just evolving right now, and it's the first meeting I've attended, was asked to stay after the meeting today, So I think it has some legs, and I think it has great promise for each of the towns. But there's gonna obviously be a request for funding that will come down the road. I think this could stay in as a placeholder, whether, you know, we use it for Rex or potentially. I think there's a feeling that not really seeing the impact that Rex gives us, where if we did it ourselves within, among 5 towns, it might be more efficient and effective for us. Just throwing it out there.
But I think if we remove it now, you know, we can pull it out of contingency if we have to. This way, it's not sitting there for a whole year.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
I said if it comes to fruition, then we just pull it out of contingency versus having it just sit in that account.
So I'm gonna let my motion stand so that it comes, so that our budget reads correctly and that it comes out of the budget and we don't have the Rex development in the budget. So I'm gonna stick with my motion and.
Second.
I agree, it should come out of, the rec should be gone anyways.
And then,
It's two completely separate things, so.
right, and then we can discuss either adding something in or taking, once we have more information, we can always take it out of contingency, or we can put a line item in for a couple $1,000s in the budget, either way. But I'm gonna keep my motion at 4,800.
Any further discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
No.
Counselor Fawnin.
No.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
In Communications Department, I would like to make a motion to increase 4240-310 by $4,462, and that's a result of the bid increase. Yeah, that's just, it's part of our budget. It's in the communication. Not out of fund balance, it's just out of our budget, because it's the line item in the budget.
What was that now again, please?
$4,462.
It's a difference in the bid price, Joe.
Right, that was the handout that Anthony gave us.
This here, right?
Right.
Right. This one.
What's over here is this one,
Roll call?
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
Going to Fire Department, I would like to make a motion to decrease 4220-202 technical supplies by $5,000.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
And I'd like to make a motion to decrease in fire 4220, other contractual. It's 4220-320, other contractual, by $5,000.
Second?
Discussion?
And just to let you know, these were, I had talked to the fire chief and Joe Civitello, and these were recommendations from them as to what accounts to cut those from.
Roll call?
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
Okay. And, so when we had, State Rep Candelora in here and asked him about the budget and the cuts to North Branford, in Governor Lamont's, original budget proposal, we had a little over $500,000 in cuts, which are already, reflected in the budget. Is that correct, Anthony?
Yes,
The-
ma'am.
Okay. So when Representative Candelora spoke to us, he said that we could probably decrease that cut amount by at least half. In discussions that some of us had when we caucused, we weren't comfortable with cutting that 500 by 250,000. But I would like to make a motion to, I don't know if I'm wording this, decrease the.
Add to the revenue.
Okay, so we're gonna add to the revenue $125,000, which is coming from the proposed state cuts. So instead of roughly a $500,000 deduction from revenue, it will only be $375,000. That,
101, 35, 50, 491.
Second.
what was that, 101?
101, 35, 50, 491.
And I spoke to Vinnie as late as last night and just asked him if his feeling on that was still the same. And he said that his feeling is that it would probably be, we probably would not see a cut that large because the revenue projections, revenue is coming in at a higher percentage than what they had planned. But he thought we would be safe in doing this at $100,000 to $125,000.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call?
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
My next one is, we currently have $350,000 from the general fund surplus applied in our budget to reduce the mill rate increase. And I would like to make a motion to increase that by $250,000 from the fund balance for a total of $600,000.
Second.
Does anybody have a running tabulation of how much of the fund balance we've applied to all of these various expenditures?
1,622,000.
Which would take us down to roughly a little under $15 million or 15%?
Yeah, still solid.
Okay. All right, thank you.
But on that, if what Vinnie's saying with the state, if that comes in where he says it is, you'd be putting that back.
goes back into the fund balance if it's leftover money. Yeah, that's great. I just wanna know where we're at, if we're actually spending the money.
Roll call.
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
and Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
Okay, how much did you say we had, 16?
1622.
Okay, because based on what you sent us as to what came out of, we were at 937.
Yeah, you're up to $1,022,000 in capital now. And 600,000 towards the budget. They added
But the 350 was already in the budget and not reflected in the, as part of the 2 million.
Correct, correct. The total fund balance you've applied this year going forward is 600 towards the budget, 350 originally plus the 250 you just added, and the $1,022,000 of capital, so combined $1,622,000 of fund
Okay.
balance.
Okay. So at the last meeting also, we had you had made mention about in contingency, adding for the Ojenkowski Tower, adding into contingency $26,975. Is that still a valid thing that we need to do? Is
Yes.
add into, that has not been settled or?
Has not been resolved, no.
Okay,
It would be prudent to do that, yeah, to add that into.
okay. So I'd like to make a motion to add $26,975 to contingency for the Ojenkowski Tower negotiations and take it from fund balance.
Second.
Discussion.
When you say take it from fund balance, it's going in the operating budget. So you're gonna bump the 600 to 626 then? It's just an expense in the contingency.
Yeah.
Right,
So you wanna take it from fund balance, it means you're gonna bring the 600 to 626.
right.
Okay.
Got the second, Al seconded.
I'll second it. Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
Okay, and then, another addition to contingency that we talked about at the last meeting was, the, possibility of the consolidation of the, finance director between the town council and the Board of Education. And we know that there's going to be, software updates and various other expenses that we would have to account for. And Anthony had sent us some information in regards to the town of Canton, who just did this, and information that they did. And he also told me that he talked to, is it Plainfield or Plainville? Plainville, who also is in the process of doing this. And they had told him that it would, you have to plan on a minimum of a year to 18 months for this to happen, which is expected, so that we if it goes forward, that we do all the research and we get it done correctly. So instead of putting money in for finance software this year, because it most likely will not happen in the 1920 budget year, I would like to make a motion to put $25,000 in for hiring a firm to help us do the study and to, and that's what most of these towns have done when they do this, is they hire someone to go through all of the jobs and to lay out a plan for you. So I would like to put $25,000 in there for personnel consolidation.
And that's
plan.
coming from?
That's coming from the fund balance also.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
All right, Al, do you have anything?
Yep, I wanna go to the building. So at our last meeting, the building official gave us a well-thought-out, convincing argument for his part-time guy. And of all the things that I've done in all the years I've sat on the council, I got called out on that from across the spectrum around town. So I, had to think long and hard about, where we are with this. And I think maybe, if the projects were starting, the medical center and the 250 units on Fowler Road or Notch Hill Road, whichever it is, there's no argument that he's gonna need somebody. But where we don't know just when they're gonna start, I think maybe we're a year early. But not being 100% sure of that, so what I wanna do, and then Anthony, you can tell me how to do it, I'm gonna take out the I think it was 39,000.
672.
672, so I wanna take that out, but I wanna put 10,000 of it in contingency, so that if they do start, that would be about, if it's $40 an hour, that would give them like 250 hours of a guy this year. And then maybe we'd have we'll know better next year if these things are actually starting, or we may have to, if they both start this year, we may be short, but, so, do I do it as one motion, or?
Well, the first motion would be to reduce 101, 4681, 102 by 39,672.
Okay, do I have to repeat that?
Heck, yeah. What
Did
was
you
it?
write that number down?
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
No, could you repeat it, please?
So I'll make that motion
101,
to,
4681,
101,
102.
46, 682,
No, 40.
4681,
4681.
102.
81, 102.
so that motion is to reduce that by 39,672.
Correct.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
Then you need to reduce 101, 4681, 120 by $575.
What he said.
Okay.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
And you need to add 10,000 to 101-4703-760 contingency.
So I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
You guys ready for the Board of Ed?
We're ready.
So I want to make a motion for the Board of Ed to increase the current operating budget by $538,539, which results in a $150,000 cut from what they asked for.
Second.
Discussion?
Could you just repeat that
Yeah.
motion?
Gonna increase the current year's operating budget by $538,539, which would mean a $150,000 cut from what they asked for.
Is that a cut from the superintendent's budget or from the Board of Ed budget?
The Board of Ed budget. is
What was
we
submitted
have
to us?
proposed.
What was in our budget book?
So we're increasing over last year by $538,539.
And that's not related to anything specific, you're just making a general adjustment
Right.
of their budget request.
That's all we can do, bottom line.
I hate to be a pain, could you repeat that one more time? My ears are going, I think.
Okay. How do you want me to say it? Do you want me to say it, just cut what they asked, $150,000, is that easier for you? But we're increasing over last year's budget, $538,539,
Okay, thank you.
which results in the $150,000
Thank you, I
reduction in what
appreciate
they
that.
asked for.
I seconded that already, right?
Roll call?
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
No.
Counselor Rose.
Yes?
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
Okay, so in our budget book, we had a higher number because it accounted for the teacher retirement of $83,511. So, Anthony, do we have to do any, I mean, because it's already in the budget, and we aren't touching that part of it. That motion,
Correct. That
Okay.
piece, yeah.
so can that be a separate line item under Board of Ed, so that we have, so in case, because that's just proposed from the state right now, and we're not sure what's gonna happen with that yet.
Correct.
It could be up or down, but it's just a separate, it's not part of the total budget that the Board of Ed received. It's a separate. So that'll just remain in there.
See, that's what I've done. That's right. I know it was too quick for me.
I don't think there's anything on debt service, it's just as presented. What, so Anthony, can you get, that's all I have unless someone else has some stuff. But you have some time to work
Yeah.
on getting it while we just continue on with the budget.
Moving back to unfinished business discussion and action, future budget plan and initiative.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Update on 944 Totoga Road remediation.
Yeah, Kurt can speak to that, but essentially we do have an application.
We received a wetland application.
They're doing some work down there, right? With the leveling around the house?
It was surveying, I think.
They have to do some surveying around there, complete up the application, and they submitted an application yesterday for wetlands. That's the review procedure.
Next is review and request for additional funding by Silver Petroselli from the town center plan.
Yeah, this came out of the April 8th meeting that Counselor Diamond had referred to, and I split it up into two requests. They were looking for the topo and boundary survey as outlined, originally outlined in their proposal for $6,400, and then also the staking out of the boundaries of the building for police department. That's a not to exceed number of 1,000. So I just separated those into two separate motions.
So it's 6,400 plus another 1,000?
Correct, yeah.
So it's page 44 in our tablet is the first motion, which is the topo.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I make the motion, the North Branford Town Council hereby approves the request of Silver Petroselli for additional funding of $6,400 for the ad alternate of topo and boundary survey as recommended by the NBPD Facility and Town Center Advisory Committee.
Second.
Discussion.
Well, why would we need to do that?
So we can get a sense of the boundaries. It's hard to decide on the whole town center area until we can see what the boundaries are, the stakes for where the police department facility would be.
It's
Am I
elevations.
correct, Al?
Right, to get the, so, you know how that land slopes away, and then there's sections that slope fairly steep, fairly quick. So you wouldn't wanna build on that section. So if we don't do the topo and stake out our proposed location for the building, we don't know where we are on that hill. So I personally think it's money well spent.
And I think we need, as a committee, we need to be able to go out there and look at it and see it and visualize and understand where that sits in terms of the rest of the design.
What happens if we decide not to go that route? In a sense, and what I mean is what happens if we decide not to build a police department?
Yes, sir.
We'd have a topo on the property.
Okay.
At some point, the land will probably be used for something. That might be 10 years or 20 years from now. They would work from that map and update it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you really can't go forward without it. You know, because it'd be just all hypothetical. So even to come up with a cost of construction, which is gonna be where we make that hard decision, we need to know, you know, do we have a 15-foot tall foundation because we went over the cliff? Or, you know, is it all up in a more of a normal foundation? So that's what we're trying to do, make sure we don't go off the cliff with the building. Or that steep grade.
Roll call.
Mayor Duty?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni?
Yes.
Counselor Candelora?
Yes.
Counselor Diamond?
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin?
Yes.
Counselor Rose?
Yes.
Counselor Viglione?
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano?
Yes.
Next item is discussion of sale of 191.
No, wait, there's another motion.
About
Oh,
$1,000.
that's right. Yep.
It's on, I'd like to
Oh,
make
for
a
the
motion That the North Branford Town Council hereby approves the request of Silva Petrozzulli for additional funding not to exceed $1,000 to hire a survey crew to set up corner stakes as recommended by the NBPD Facility and Town Center Advisory Committee.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
and Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
And next is discussion on sale of 191 Forest Road.
Yeah, this had come up, I mean, the next item is on Tommy's path, but I think it was mentioned, in the past, and, so we dug out the, information from the last go-around and whether or not the council wants to include this in, as part of this, discussion, we look at property, whether or not you wanna put this one out there as well.
That's that little piece of property that,
0.23 acres.
I mean, that's of no use to the town.
And trees are leaning over somebody else's property from the town side, so I think it's a hazard.
What'd we do wrong the last time? We had
Well, we had a minimum
We had a
bid.
minimum bid that nobody bid.
We pulled it because we didn't get enough
You didn't get
money
the
in the bid.
Right.
We had an offer, but it didn't meet.
The offer was 5,000, I believe the minimum bid was 18, and town council rejected it.
Right, because we couldn't accept it because it was below and other people might have bid on it had they known, I mean, you were, because of that minimum bid, some people didn't bid on it that may have wanted to bid on it. So it wouldn't be fair just to accept the 5,000 when we had posted that the minimum bid was 18. So-
What's it cost us to own?
Probably minimal expense.
And what
Well, there was, the reason that that figure was given was because of previous taxes when it had to be foreclosed on.
No, I'm just wondering, what does it cost us to own it?
Doesn't cost us anything, but we don't get any taxes for it.
And what's the projected amount of taxes we'd get
Well,
from
if it's
it?
added to another lot, an adjoining lot, then I'm not
It's
sure.
not gonna be a king's ransom.
No.
It's not gonna enhance the
No,
value
no.
of, either lot on either side is a pre-existing non-conforming use.
Right.
They can continue using it the way they're using it. It brings it a little bit more in line if it's joined to another lot. But the additional value of that quarter of an acre of land is nominal. I don't know what the assessor would put on it. Actually, he was here before, maybe he'd give us an idea.
We'll be back.
So to the right of the property is 0.23 acres and to the left is 0.41 acres of that, according to this map that they included here.
Well, here's the assessor's card on it, it's the very next page.
Right.
And he's showing an assessed value of $60,400 times whatever the mill rate is. So it's $180, something like that in taxes.
But will that be if we sold that, would that hold true?
Unless it was reassessed, if they built a skyscraper on it, it'd go up in value, but as it is, it's probably gonna be about that. So we'll get a very small amount of tax dollars for it. As it is, we have it right now, it's just a place where people would dump stuff.
Well, it's what we allow, if we allow it, but
I don't see any sense in the town owning it. Would we get it for back taxes or something?
Right, I think that the history there is that we
It says
foreclosed
13,000. Yeah.
13,000.
I mean, it's a liability owning it, especially if it's got trees gonna fall on left or right on one of the other houses.
Mike, what are we gonna do with that and Tommy's Path?
Well, I mean, this one, if you think it's worth getting rid of, then I think this time around, we just, we'll advertise, put it out there, but without a minimum
Without a
and see
minimum.
without a minimum, see what comes back and open,
Well,
open up.
we can put the offer minimum
Yeah,
as a base
5,000
price.
minimum.
I would do that.
Say that again?
Put the offer that we received on it originally as the base
As
price.
the minimum, whatever.
Okay. We can do
Yeah.
that, 5,000.
Yeah.
We can do that. Yeah, and Tommy's Path is another, I don't know if that particular, we were, in Tommy's Path, that's the next item, but we had originally gone with the land trust, but they had, conditions that they wanted to put on it, and then there was an offer from, an interest, from Mr. Sienna, and who I think is still interested, and, whether the council wants to put it out, the 24 referral back from P and Z is fine, you can go put that out to bid as well. I just don't know that it's gonna work for Mr. Sienna or for anybody for that matter, in terms of.
But, I mean, if he's interested, I can't slap him and say no, if he wants to go with minimum offer that was made on that property, that's what we should put it up, advertise it for.
But there wasn't a minimum. I didn't think on Tommy Path.
On
made a
Tommy's?
minimum.
I
Yeah, I
don't know,
thought
there
it
was,
Oh, well, yes.
yeah,
18.
from his offer, yeah.
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 He put a number on it,
Yeah, that's what I would go with, the same
It
thing.
wasn't 18?
Yeah.
Cause it's landlocked to anybody else,
Right.
except the land trust who
They don't want it.
we were gonna end up spending money to give it to them.
Right.
So we just need a motion. You wanna make a motion on the first one, Forest Road? For a minimum of 5,000?
Yeah, so I'll make, what was that, 191?
Yeah, 191 Forest.
I'll make a motion so we're gonna put that
To
for
do it.
sale
Yep.
with
Is
a
it an
minimum,
RFP?
minimum bid of 5,000.
How are you handling that, Mike? Just referral to your office, advertisement by your office?
I think I think an I think we'll just repeat the way we did it, last time,
Yeah.
whether it was an RFP or a bid, we'll
We'll
just
put the minimum bid at
and then just
5,000.
reset the minimum bid at 5,000, just redo it the same way we did last time.
So I'll make a motion to do everything Mike said on 191 Forest Road, $5,000.
You got that, Michelle?
All set.
Second.
So the motion is to put it out to bid for a minimum bid of $5,000, and it goes to the highest bidder.
Correct.
Okay.
Discussion?
Yeah, if it's not worth much, how can it be assessed for $60,000 or appraised at $86,000?
Yeah, it can't be.
Right, but it is, so
It
that.
was a non-conforming building lot at one time.
No, I know, but
which
this
was
is
removed.
2018, it says. 2018, we assessed it the town assessed it at $60,000. How can that be?
Well, it doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna contest it because nobody's paying the tax.
Nah,
No
I
one sits
just-
down.
Okay.
If it was your lot, you'd probably come in and say, that's outrageous. It's,
Yeah.
Did we last time sell it as not a building lot?
Yeah, we put it in the,
Didn't we do something like that? Did we do that?
we put it in the bid.
Right.
And we're gonna put it on the land record.
Right. Cause I think that's how the assessment, Tommy, got as high as it is now, cause before zoning, it was one
It
of the
was a
little tiny
building.
building lots. But Carrie's so mean, she wouldn't let you build on it today, you know?
Well, there's discussion of like a tiny house on it and everything else, but.
Yeah, I mean,
Landlocked.
right, that's why, and I actually was the one that said that, you know what, if you could get a septic approved and you could put a tiny house in there that hit the clearances, we couldn't stop you from building, so that's why we were putting the caveat on there that it's not a building lot.
No, I'll have to check. You're absolutely right, and I don't know if we put anything else beyond that, but it was, right, non-buildable lot.
So you want all those the same thing,
Right, all-
that,
yep.
except the minimum instead of 18 is 5.
Is 5.
Yep.
Again, it's landlocked by the two owners, so.
Right.
Roll call?
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
All right, next item, moving to new business, discussion and action. P and Z report to the town council, CGS 824 referral on proposed sale of property 55 Tommy's Path. Since we just had a discussion on that,
Right.
you wanna make that
I'll
motion
make a
again?
motion that the town manager puts that for sale with a minimum bid of $18,000.
Does that have any restrictions as far as it being a
Nope.
buildable lot or not?
No, none, other than what's already there, the wetlands and all that, I mean, again, it's landlocked, so if somebody can do something that owns the backside, so be it.
Yeah, that's open.
We need a second.
How did you arrive at $18,000? That was
That was
That
what
an
was
offer
offered,
by
in Ron's
Mr.
letter?
Ron
Yeah.
Sienna, yeah.
I believe,
Yes.
wasn't that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Got a second, Anthony.
Second.
Thank you.
I thought I did already.
Maybe you did.
Roll call?
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes. And next is Stephanie Malkin, Dan Cosgrove Animal Control Quarterly Report.
So as part of the commission, recently, the commission members have spent the last couple of months meeting with staff from Dan Cosgrove Animal Shelter regarding some concerns about the physical space of their building. And over the course of those discussions, there's been some facts, some statistics, information that I have compiled and have been asked to share with you, so I'm just gonna give you some of that information to pass along. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the shelter, if you've been to the shelter recently or in the past, but Dan Cosgrove Animal Shelter is a very unique facility. In addition to being a municipal shelter with the goal of keeping the animals and the people of our community safe, we are also one of the very few animal control organizations in Connecticut that also function as an animal adoption center. Each year, 500 to 750 animals are cared for and adopted out. Most of these animals have been abandoned, rescued from dire circumstances, or owner released. This is another very special feature of Dan Cosgrove in that we do take owner surrenders. You may have seen recently on the news, as recently as tonight, I actually watched it on WFSB before I came. North Branford resident recently surrendered a senior dog that, because of medical and financial hardships, they could no longer take care of. Turns out, after a visit to the vet, that dog has terminal cancer and will not be with us much longer. So with the help from the public, Cosgrove has reached out via Facebook and the news, and the dog now has a bucket list. And every day we'll be going out and doing certain things that the community has suggested. Today, the dog visited Rose Orchard, had custard, visited with the goats. So, you know, the family is very aware of what's been going on. They didn't realize the dog had terminal cancer when they surrendered the dog, but Cosgrove has taken over all medical care to keep the dog comfortable until it's time for her to pass. In addition to that, just today, there was another family from North Branford that has a cat that has severe medical issues that they could not afford to pay for their surgery. They surrendered the cat to Dan Cosgrove Animal Shelter, and we are taking over the medical care for this cat, and when the cat is ready to be adopted out, it will be adopted out into a loving home. So this is possible because of the tremendous amount of fundraising that we do at the shelter. We are constantly fundraising so that we can help members of the community, North Branford and Branford. And that's a really awesome thing about Dan Cosgrove. Not many municipal shelters do that and reach out to the communities in the way that we do. In addition to keeping the people and animals safe and serving as an adoption center, Dan Cosgrove also offers spay and neutering services, rabies clinics, animal education, a summer animal camp, which generates a significant amount of revenue, and various other services such as a pet food pantry, high school internships, reading to the animals, animal care fairs, and pet therapy visits on a regular basis to local senior living communities, which are very well received and very much appreciated. More than 10,000 people from all over visit the shelter each year. This is 6 times more than other local shelters. Over 200 volunteers, consisting of both adults and children, multiply the efforts of paid staff and are an integral part of the shelter. So when you look at the data and the sheer volume of people and animals that come through and circulate through the shelter on an annual basis, you can see if you've been to the shelter, the issue becomes one of physical space. There's 19 kennels, 2 cat rooms, a single critter room for the various other animals that are surrendered, ferrets, birds, guinea pigs, rabbits, and other areas that are overflowing. The animals are routinely cared for in the hallways, offices, the bathroom, the kitchen, and any available space. Currently, there's no safe place for adopting families to meet and interact with the animals, and there's no way to separate sick or pregnant animals at the current time. So these are some of the concerns that have been shared by the staff via the commission. Right now, there are no plans to do anything about this. We've talked about kind of how we can rework the physical space that we've got to make the best of the situation right now. But I think it's important that the commission heard the staff and heard their concerns, and that we also shared it with you and also with the Branford Town Council. Any questions?
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next is review and approval of bid number 5, 2019-2020 specifications for maintenance service contract at North Branford Intermediate School.
So is this in here because we're using funds that is in capital on the NBIS project?
No, actually, this is going to be for the Board of Ed side, because we're close to wrapping up the fixes, if you will, and then they wanted this maintenance contract going forward, like for Eagle Rivet does the twice a year cleanings that they're doing. They want the maintenance contract as well. And so, I wanted this to come before the council to approve, but it's going to be on their side, on the Board of Ed side, to pay for it, like Eagle Rivet.
Okay.
And once we're at the point where I hope to get a report in terms of a wrap-up report, but right now the CO2 sensors are one of the last things that they're doing. And then I think we still need to look at water infiltration around the brick and masonry work, and see if there's any other expert we need to finally kind of rule. Maybe it's the windows as well. We still have every once in a while with the directional rain or pounding rain. If you look at the outside of the building on the front there, you see that sort of the blackish, I don't know what it's called, soot or something coming down to stain the brick. So I think there's still in those areas every once in a while water coming through, but that should be the last piece, and then they'll have a contract with Eagle Rivet, which they have, and then this maintenance, whoever gets that. But I think that's important to have as well.
So was this bid specs done in conjunction with the Board of Ed? I mean,
Yeah, it all came from Bill Chody.
Oh, okay.
They've reviewed them.
Okay. I make a motion to approve bid specs for bid number 5, 2019-20, for the maintenance service contract at NBIS.
Second.
Discussion?
So this is just for, air handling, heat, air, right?
Right. And some maintenance.
Yeah. Okay.
Roll call?
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Want me to answer it for him?
and he's gone. Counselor Zampano,
Yes.
thank you.
Next is review and approval of bid number 6, 2019-2020 specifications for North Branford High School elevator.
I make a motion to approve the bid specs for bid number 6, 2019-20 for the NBHS elevator.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Too fast.
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
And next is review and approve RFP number 9, 2018-2019 specifications for North Branford High School feasibility study.
I make a motion to approve bid specs for RFP number 9, 2018-19 for the NBHS feasibility study.
Second, and I have a question. Was this done in conjunction with the Board of Ed? Because I'm kind of surprised when I look at the scope of the work, in terms of the areas they're going to look at, based on my visiting that school and talking to people, that the library media center isn't included in the overall, areas that's going to be looked at. I can't believe that the Board of Ed wouldn't have included the library media center.
They approved this at their board
I
meeting.
know, and
and-
I'm very surprised that's not in there. You're gonna do a thorough review. But I guess that's what they wanted.
Roll call?
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Abstain.
and Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
Next is award of RFP number 1, 2019-2020 billing service for ambulance fire rescue.
Who is it? Here it is. Okay, so ambulance medical billing is our current vendor on this, and that's the recommendation for
No,
this?
it's- Comstar is the current bidder and is
Oh.
the recommended bidder.
Oh, no, wait. Oh, okay, I got it. So I make a motion to award RFP number 1, 2019-20 billing services for ambulance fire rescue to Comstar of Raleigh, Massachusetts, who is our current vendor on this.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Duty,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni,
Yes.
Counselor Candelora,
Yes.
Counselor Diamond,
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin,
Yes.
Counselor Rose,
Yes.
Counselor Viglione,
Yes.
Counselor Zampano.
Yes.
Okay, next is award of RFP number 4, 2019-2020 reevaluation.
I make a motion to award RFP number 4 for 2018-19 reevaluation to Municipal Valuation Services LLC in the amount of $125,000.
So I'll second that, but then I wanted to, for discussion. So why, where it says all firms met the requirements, why are we not giving it to the 116,000 and we're giving it to a 125?
On the page right after that is the letter from Dave Ambrose listing all of his reasons as to why he is recommending MVS.
But I would ask the town attorney if you're allowed to do that?
If you were allowed to.
So you've got to, when you put out a bid, I thought you always have to give it to the lowest responsible bidder.
I don't believe there's a.
I didn't read through all these, his rationale.
But I haven't seen the analysis of what the recommendation is.
So here's his, so here, if you go back to this one, here's all the bids, and it says all firms met the requirements. And the decision to change to another firm is based on him.
Yeah, I was hoping Dave could answer that. I think he stepped out. Oh, she did, okay. Yeah, but when I talked to him, the rationale, I think he was trying to, but didn't quite get to the quantitative side of explaining the potential expenses, additional expenses, should we get challenged in court cases, and any incorrections, and I think that's where he was going with this, but I don't see any calculation that would, like we do for ComStar in the last bid, that says the first year is gonna, the others, it's gonna cost, whereas ComStar doesn't, so you factor that in. And we've done, in the previous meeting, we had the same calculation as well, where we have a warranty that someone gives us for 2 years, and the others don't provide the warranty. We get a longer warranty. There's a value to that, and I think there's a value to using MVS and their track record when it comes to these challenges or court cases that we may be faced with.
Right. It seems that this is, the recommendation was that it seems like the bidders met the minimum bid specifications, but here you have your expert recommending that there are reasons that this bid may be more financially responsible for the town in the long run rather than the minimum bid specification.
On an RFP, you don't have to award to the lowest
Right.
bidder.
Yeah, if this wasn't bid out, under this, then it would be awarded to the lowest bidder, then you're depending upon.
There's a difference between an RFP and a bid.
Right.
So the only comment I'll make is if we're putting out an RFP and the low guy met what we asked for, but we really don't want what we asked for, the RFP ought to say what we want. That's, so maybe you need him to help you with the RFP or something, because he has 10 items here of all these grand things that the one for $8,000 or $9,000 more is gonna do for us. So that makes sense, but if that's what he wanted, it should have been in the RFP.
I could comment, it's difficult, I know, in an RFP process to put in everything possible that would be considered as part of the proposal. You usually put the basic requirements in, and then you evaluate what comes in, because you're asking the bidders to say, give us a proposal, we'll meet these general parameters, but different proposals will come in to address different things, and then there is still some discretion based on the town's experts to say, based on the RFP, these all meet the minimum minimum requirements that we've requested proposals for, but it's almost impossible to set in a particular RFP every possible consideration that might apply to a particular situation.
Okay. Is he your brother, Michelle?
No, but he knows his purchasing very well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Good thing you're a substitute.
All right, since you're up there, Al, you wanna make the motion?
Sure, I'm gonna make a motion to spend more money than we had to. Which is, so we're making.
But it's interesting, that's the
It's,
amount that's in the budget.
It's RFP number 4, 2018, 2019 reevaluation.
Right, so we don't have a motion written here?
No,
Oh.
you have to wing it.
Okay, so I make a motion to award RFP number 4, 2018-19 revaluation to Municipal Valuation Services LLC for $125,000 at the recommendation of the assessor.
Which year, 2019, 2020?
Okay. Well, I just read what was in front of me.
Yeah.
That's what we got, that was in front of us. So it's 19.
So I'll correct it.
1920.
So we wanna go for 2019, 2020.
2019, 2020.
So this is a typo?
I don't know, I'm looking at the agenda.
We're looking at your memo to us. That's what we're reading from.
I apologize.
So that's where it has, the agenda is
So
1920.
the agenda's correct.
The agenda's correct.
The memo's
my memo.
wrong.
I
Got it.
Anthony, you seconded that?
I did.
Discussion? We already had it. Roll call?
Mayor Duty?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni?
Yes.
Counselor Candelora?
Yes.
Counselor Diamond?
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin?
Yes.
Counselor Rose?
Yes.
Counselor Viglione?
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano?
Yes.
All right, we're moving into the budget adoption motion.
Yeah,
No, we have one more. We have,
One more, I
aye.
appropriate.
Oh, okay. Award of bid number 4, aye, this is award bid number 4, 2019, 2020, delivery and supply of propane to the town of North Branford. That's one I wanted to do before.
I make a motion to award bid number 4, 2019-20, deliver and supply propane to the town of North Branford to East River Energy.
Second.
The Happy Pill came in about 40 cents a gallon less than what we're currently paying.
Wow. Good.
So is this price reflected in the budget?
That I don't
No, they used
I
last year.
believe Anthony went back and changed it after the award, yes. Or after the bid opening.
Good question.
Well, if it's that much more, so it's Public Works, let's see,
When was the bid open, Michelle? 2 weeks ago, so we have the old number there.
yeah, this is as of 3/18. But it wasn't part of our corrections that he had us do. Oh, we saved a little bit more then, probably, let's see, what's here.
Michelle, you know what account that's in?
I'm sorry, what?
What account number? What account number?
Each department has their own
Oh,
account,
okay, so
it's.
spread out.
Yes, Public Works, Recreation.
I know, but
Recreation.
what's your line number? 209?
209, I think,
Yeah.
fuels.
So they have gas and diesel. What is yours?
208.
Yours is 208?
Diesel fuel.
Oh, propane, yeah, so it's 169 in the budget. 123.9.
Yeah, so it, I don't know if.
123.9.
He didn't. Okay.
169.
What number are you carrying?
basically in the bid rows, they've got 4,000 to 5,000 at, Public Works and 3,000 gallons.
Right, right, so
Hot
Public
water.
Works, the difference,
So we'd be looking at about 8,000 gallons.
it's it's 2250 for Public Works, based on those numbers. And the other one is Community Center. No, it's not, I don't. But the community center is, well, it doesn't,
It's a small one, it's mostly for the kitchen.
right. And I, travel printing.
And obviously the gallons are an estimate based on past quantities that we purchased.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Where are you looking for this, in the rec?
Yeah,
It would be under the senior center.
this, the senior center is separate?
No, I don't ask about it. No, it's not.
No, yeah, I don't see it listed separately in her accounts here.
Yeah,
It just has heating oil in here. It doesn't have propane for your kitchen or anything. It just has the heat, so it's not even in the budget. So it's gonna be a wash between Public Works and Park and Rec, the difference, cause it's not listed in there, so I guess we just leave it.
No. You have a second.
Wanna see how long Anthony's gonna take?
I can go
We
ahead.
can take a little break.
Did you wanna vote on propane?
Yeah.
Okay. Mayor Duty?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni?
Yes?
Counselor Candelora? Oop. I have to put bells on people. Counselor Diamond?
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin?
Yes.
Counselor Rose?
Yes.
Counselor Viglione?
Yes.
Counselor Zampano?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Unremarkable.
Thank you. Yep. All right, financial reports in, unremarkable. Tax refunds, you have anything on that? Somebody wanna approve the tax refunds?
I make a motion to approve the tax refunds as presented.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Duty?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni?
Yes?
Counselor Diamond?
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin?
Yes.
Counselor Rose?
Yes.
Counselor Viglione?
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano?
Yes.
So you can't leave.
No. Well, I can if you want me to.
Yeah, I believe, yeah. We'll move into citizen statements and petitions.
Marcia Onofrio, 14 Fox Hill Drive. You guys all know me. You know when I have something to say, I say it, even when I shouldn't a lot of times. But tonight you left me speechless. Thank you guys very, very much for supporting education. The superintendent is on his way back from Michigan, and I texted him, and he said to tell you thank you. He nearly drove off the road. But he said thank you very much.
You don't want that to happen.
Hope somebody else was doing the texting for him.
Could I just make one comment on the public? Just in your folders is the reminder of Little League opening day is Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
Give you a time.
9 o'clock, I think it is.
9 a.m., yeah.
Little League opening day is 9 a.m. this Saturday.
So, yeah, maybe while we're waiting for Anthony, we could go into executive session with David. Or do you want me to?
I make a motion to go into executive session under section 1-206D and 1-206B to include the town manager and the town attorney.
For the public, all we're doing after we come back is a budget adoption motion and budget referendum question. So it's just standard boilerplate. So if you don't want to wait around.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, put that.
Okay, so which order do you?
The thicker packet.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're moving
All
to
right,
budget
no,
adoption.
just wait, Michelle's not quite ready yet.
Let me, make one call.
Oh, yeah, Kim? I mean,
Oh, it's
She's
on.
got us on anyway,
Yeah.
so you told her?
I'll just check.
Yep, she was plugging back in when I was.
Anthony, how much money is .07 of a mil?
$85,000.
There you go, Al. Yes, the,
So you guys wanna hit the Board of Ed for another $85,000?
We're all set. Your CD is gone?
My CD is going,
Apparently they
yes.
were ecstatic.
6.
all right, next is, budget adoption motion.
I make a motion, be it hereby resolved that the North Branford Town Council hereby adopts the proposed operating budget for the 2019-20 fiscal year as amended and recommends the same to the budget referendum at the attached appropriation levels. And be it hereby further resolved that the Treasurer Finance Director is authorized to make any mathematical adjustments that may be required to balance the budget.
Second.
Discussion?
The numbers are on the second page, if you want to read.
Do you want me, okay.
Or I can attach them if you want.
That's fine. It's actually 87,105.19 now.
What was that?
87,105.
Represents. 0.7 of a mil.
The final number, well, the second motion will be the question motion.
Roll call?
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Get my list back up. Okay.
Yeah.
Counselor Candelora. Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Miller. Isn't here. Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Okay, next is the budget referendum question.
I make a motion in accordance with section C 8-5 of the Charter of the Town of North Branford, the Town Council hereby approves the following advisory referendum question for the fiscal year 2019-20. Budget, shall the Town Council recommended budget of $53,983,433, which will require a mill rate of 33.46 mills, be adopted?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
So is that all the budget questions that we need? Okay, so we have one more motion. I make a motion to accept the terms of the proposed written settlement as presented for Anthony DeLuise regarding pension, medical insurance, and workman's compensation.
Second.
Did
Is,
you get that motion?
is that,
Do we have to amend the agenda to put that question on it?
Yeah,
oh,
So first a
I
motion
would
to
think-
amend.
right,
Yeah,
correct.
Motion to amend the agenda.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll make it to 8. Hold on one second. Make it 8N,
Eight,
or
nine.
9N, sorry.
9N, okay.
Approval of proposed settlement agreement with Anthony DeLuise.
just keep it at that,
Pension.
yeah, just,
Proposed settlement.
yes. We can, so I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda to add item 9N, proposed settlement with Anthony DeLuise.
Second.
And that's, I don't know.
I got it.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Duty.
Roll call. Yep.
Deputy
Yes.
Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yep.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
And now I'd like to make a motion to accept the terms of the proposed written settlement as presented for Anthony DeLuise regarding pension, medical insurance, and workman compensation case.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Duty.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Angeloni.
Yes.
Counselor Candelora.
Yes.
Counselor Rose.
Yep.
Counselor Diamond.
Yes.
Counselor Fawnin.
Yes.
Counselor Viglione.
Yes.
Counselor Zampiano.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Cool.